Well, welcome to the TLoGreen show. Not really sure if I've got a full name for it yet or what I'm gonna call this, but welcome. Hey buddy, how are you, friend? Everybody, you can meet my cat's ass. I mean Tommy. Say hello, the big galoop. What's up, dude? Kind of interrupting my recording here. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. We're really out here, as I normally say. Pretty new and exciting stuff to be out here and to be filming something. It's been a while since I filmed something for myself. So I am excited to be here and to be filming something for everybody. Come on, bud, let's get down. So I've actually written down a bunch of different topics and things that I wanted to go over and talk about. I haven't made a YouTube video in a while. The YouTube videos that I was creating was fishing and having fun with my friends and doing all that stuff. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna stop, having fun with my friends, but filming it's segued into doing this full time for a living and making money. You can see my logo is right above me, TLo Productions. You can check out my website if you want, tloprod.com. Got tons of work on there. I've been crushing it ever since I've decided to do this and follow my dreams as far as creating videos and live streaming on Twitch and playing video games and just like creating content. All of those things, once I decided like I'm going to do exactly what I want to do, it's turned into this massive enjoyment and the best feeling I've ever had in my life. So few things that I definitely want to talk about is just like taking risks in your life. I think it's super important to take risks and to be able to achieve the things that you thought you would never be able to achieve. I still go through all these struggles every day on my own. I'm every day grinding and trying to figure out new and better ways to make money and to find ways to fulfill my inside and my happiness. And that's not easy, at all. I don't really have a very easy way to go about it, but I do know how I am going about it. And from the research that I've done, the people that I've spoken to, all the motivational preachers and speakers and sermons I've listened to, it's pretty crazy, but there's tons and tons of information out there to basically live your life better and take risks. So for me, it was just basically something as important as maybe buying some new equipment recently, or figuring out, should I get this car? Should I not get this car? Do you dive in deeper on the relationship that you're in? Do you want to purchase that home? Quit your job? Those are some big ones. Definitely some really big ones. All of those things are things that everybody struggles with, not just myself. I would say everybody in the world trying to figure out okay, should I take this risk? Is this risk versus reward going to be, the better thing to do? My mentality has completely changed on this entire topic, absolutely completely changed on this topic. Risk for me years ago used to not be I think I knew what I wanted as far as risk, but I couldn't actually put it into action. I was I could have plenty of ideas, and ideas is a great place to start. Don't discourage yourself if you just have ideas. But taking your ideas and then putting them into action is that risk factor. So it's never really been easy for me to do that. And I was just kind of saying, years ago, I would get stuck in these patterns, I guess you could call them, of just sleeping in really late and playing video games till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and drinking and smoking tons of weed and just hanging out with my friends whenever I could, and just really bad habits, eating junk food, not working out, not actually caring about my body at all, just kind of just being how can I get through today, make it fun, and then figure out how to just relax, because I was always tired and I just needed to relax. So that takes a lot to break through those habits. I suggest doing one thing every day to push yourself to break through those habits. and to like start taking those risks. So I mean, if it's something as big as like, I need to quit my job, it's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, you should quit your job. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. Like, if you don't like it and you don't like what you do, yeah, quit your job. But at the same time, like, if you don't have money and like you have bills to pay, you do have to look at the reality of things. You know, there are facts at hand. So like, I would say that's probably the most important thing, is to like lay out your facts, you know, take a pen and paper down. Like, okay, so I do have bills every month. I do have things to pay for. I do have, you know, responsibilities and places to be, and I have to be here every Wednesday or whatever it is. Like, you just have to like, okay, so this is what my facts are in my life. You can't just like sit in a corner and just pray to God, like, please change my life and everything's gonna be okay. It doesn't work that way. As much as we would love for it to be like, we could just like literally pray and your life gets better. It does in a sense, but at the same time, like, you have to take that action. You have to take everything that you do every day and be like, oh, okay, like, I know I have bills to pay. I know I have to like make my girlfriend happy, or I know I have like my wife and kids to take care of, or I have friends that rely on me for this, or family members that rely on me for this, or whatever you have. So make sure that you assess your entire situation, and then you can go ahead and start taking those risks. So let's say you do have a packed out day and it's not until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or maybe even 9 o'clock that you can find yourself some time to do so. Everybody today will take that time and be like, yeah, like, I'm just so tired at the end of the day, like, and I have to just relax and watch Netflix or just like play some video games and just wind down. And I get that, I totally do, but you have to push yourself. If you don't push yourself, you're gonna be stuck in the exact same place that you are. It's much better to push yourself now while we're young, while you have this mentality, while you're watching this video, because it makes way more sense. You're like, okay, fine. This is what I need to do. If I start doing it now, in 6 months from now and a year from now, I can look back on this day exactly and be like, I made those changes today, and now look at what 6 months did, look at what a year did for me. And then you could keep pushing forward, and your whole mentality will just switch. And again, it just starts with like doing like small things where it's like, okay, I have that hour from 9 to 10 o'clock where I can just do a little bit of research. Let's say I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos, I'm gonna go on the internet and research the thing, I'm gonna go to school maybe. Let's say you'll go take one class a week at a community college. Like, there are so many different things that can push you in the direction that you want to go to. And of course, that is taking risks. So now let's say it's like months later, you saved up some money and you're like, okay, cool, like, I'm gonna quit my job now. So you're like, okay, cool, quit your job, you go in. The right thing to do is put in your 2 weeks in a sense, and quit your job. And let's say you have money saved up and now you want to pursue what you want to do. It's like a full-time job trying to find a job. So my recommendation, and anybody can tell me I'm wrong in saying this, but my recommendation is, if you're trying to find your dream and you're working a job that's stopping you from doing your dream, then quit your job for your dream. Now, again, going back to what I just said, make sure you don't have like a ton of responsibilities and bills and all these things lined up, because then you're gonna just like fall into a black hole, depression, and a lot of bad things can happen there. Like, so set yourself up where you're in a good place, where you're mentally, financially, stably, like health-wise in a good place, and then make that decision and then go to that next step. And then, you know, you'll have that money to do so. So then you can save up for whatever it is. Let's say you want to start a business. Let's say you just need to keep applying to those jobs until you can finally find that right, you know, marketing job or that right sales job. Or maybe you just want to go back to school, but you just didn't have the time to do so, but you need like a semester to take like full classes or something like that. I don't know, but there's so many things that I'm sure whoever's watching this video, in your life you have some kind of dream, and there's probably something that's like causing you to not take that next step. And taking risks is the most important thing in your life to get past that next step. I've lived with so many people in my life. My parents, for example, they've never taken extreme amounts of risk, and the risk that they did take, it didn't get them where they wanted to go. Because they eventually gave up at some point. And yeah, there's a lot in just taking risks, but there's more in sticking with your guns and becoming something that nobody around you is. Trying to turn yourself into somebody. Come on, buddy. Trying to turn yourself into somebody that you've never met before. You know, we can achieve to be our heroes, but they always say never meet your heroes because they probably aren't the people that you think that they are. And a lot of times that's true, you know. You have to aspire to be the person that you want to be, what you think is perfect, what you think is great, what you think is like the best human being out there is what we need to aspire to be. So I'm here today to try and enlighten anybody out there who needs to follow their dreams, you know. I started out just by making those like 1 hour a day or a few hours a day, like making videos and like doing all of those things to get to where I am today. And I'm not saying that I'm like, oh wow, I have this crazy successful company or anything like that. No, I'm doing pretty well and I'm happy with the work that I'm doing. And that's why I'm here, because I am happy. I've gotten myself to a point where I'm like, wow, I want to share this with as many people as I can, because I think this is something that everybody needs. They need to be able to crack that code of excuse making. And that's like the biggest thing, because anybody that comes to me and they're like, Tom, like, I love what you do. I love it. I love the videos and the work that you do. Like, I wish I could do something like that. And I'm just like, so what's stopping you? They're like, well, and then it's excuse. And like, again, I get it because I was there at some point. But then it depends on who they are to me in my life, because I'm not gonna overextend myself. But in a lot of cases, I'll tell people, look, you're just giving me excuses right now. Those aren't anything, those aren't reasons to stop you from doing it. It's just excuses as to why you shouldn't do it. The reasons to why you shouldn't do something would be like something very significant in your life, like health-wise or something like that. Like, oh, I physically cannot do this. Okay, I now understand why you can't do that. But to just say like, oh, I have, you know, these bills to pay and I'm comfortable with this job and I'm so tired after work, like those are literally just excuses. And I am still someone who makes excuses for all kinds of things, you know. I don't want to work out. Half the time it's like, oh man, this is such a pain in the butt, but I get it. But we have to push through those things. And if we don't push through those things, then we're just gonna stay in the same place. And being somebody who stays in the same place is the scariest thing. Like, my car is getting fixed right now at the repair shop. And the guy who works there just seems so miserable. Like, he just doesn't seem happy. And I look at that and I'm like, man, that could have been me, because I used to be in the automotive industry. I used to work on cars and work with people and about their cars and all kinds of things like that. And to be that person that just is like stuck in the same day over and over and over, and you're looking for your weekends, and the people that you interact with, you're just rude with because you don't even like your own life. So then you're just rude to the people around you. Like, I don't understand how people live their lives like that. And I've worked and seen so many of those people, and it's terrifying. And if that's like your calling to just like work every day, and so be it, like by all means, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. But at the end of the day, like for me and for the people in my life that like want to aspire to be something a little bit more than just your everyday, like, oh, I just show up to this job and whatever. Cause like anybody that you talk to, they all feel the same way. Nobody wants to work a crap job. No one wants to get paid bad money. Everybody wants to live a fulfilled life. They want to feel blessed. They want to feel like I've achieved something. But there's only achievement in trials and tribulations and going through what we have to call as risk and taking risk. If we don't do that, then we're never going to achieve the things that we want. So go out there, buy that thing that you've been looking for, sign that deal, or quit that job, or meet with that new girl that you've been thinking about talking to, or whatever it is. Like, just do that thing that you want to do, because there's no time to waste. Like, we have one life. Why am I gonna waste 5 years? Oh, I'm gonna wait, you know, until the springtime to start, or I'm gonna wait till Monday to start eating healthier or whatever. Like, no, dude, just the next meal that you eat, start eating healthier. And like, yeah, after this video, do 10 push-ups right now and start the workout. Like, you don't have to go to the gym. You can start all of these things right now. You can start looking up these things on the computer. You can do all of these things literally right now. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you liked this episode of the TLoGreen Show. I'm sure there'll be many more. This has been the first one. I got a new office, so I'm pretty excited about it, and I figured I'd use this desk that I have here. Been given to me by my grandfather, so I figured I'd use it and try and film something to enlighten everybody else for joining me today. So thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe this video, and stay tuned because there will be more coming.